All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I see the Smudge in there, and Steve's joined us. Jamie's with us, and Highlands Huskies has joined us. And let me first start off for all my warfighter buddies, for all my battle buddies out there. Happy birthday! 246 years, Army strong. Hooah! How you doing this morning, Cameron?
I am, I'm up, I'm mobile, I'm moving forward, I'm progressing through life. I probably didn't beat Jocko this morning. Not real sure what happened. Still up at 4:45, but Jocko has a tendency to be 4:30 to 4:35. So if I'm going to beat him, it's got to be a sub 4:30 time. But yeah, that's how I'm doing this morning.
Okay. I should post my wake up. I've said it. I should try to get in that habit, but I don't think about it when I wake up. I was sub 4:30 this morning, that's for sure. Anyway, so what are we talking about today?
You take a nap.
I do.
You take a nap, dude.
I do.
Come on, man. All right.
I take a roughly 1 hour nap most afternoons, and sleep between 3 and 5 hours every night. Works out okay. So, Epstein didn't kill himself. Christopher Sine may have. So, here's what we're looking at. The reporter, Christopher Sine, who broke the Tarmac story. Y'all remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president and she was also under investigation for the commission of several crimes, and committed several more crimes in the course of the investigation in plain view of the public. So let me be real crystal clear about something here. Like, it's possible that there are mitigating factors and evidence to support the counter narrative, and it is possible that the fact is that Hillary Clinton committed no crimes related to her email. That's barely, but it's theoretically possible. What is not in question at all is that she committed perjury multiple times in the course of the hearings on the subject, and so did her lawyers. They perjured themselves. They swore swore the oath and then gave testimony. That's all on video. You can go back and watch. I did an expose piece on that 5 years ago when it was going on. And I believe oh God, what was his name? The big goofy looking guy that used to be the director of the FBI.
James Comey.
Yeah, Comey. Comey also committed perjury in the course of that investigation. He was asked questions under oath in the Senate hearings, or in the House Intelligence hearings rather, and he lied under oath. And it's not speculation that he lied under oath. It's not he said this thing and we think the other thing is true. No. He made a declarative testimony and then recanted the same declarative testimony under oath. He made public statements and then he made the opposite statements under oath, and vice versa. There may be some math there where he only lied when he spoke to the public and he told the truth under oath, in which case he's just a liar and hasn't perjured himself. But there are a couple of clear examples where he absolutely 100% perjured himself. And the same is true of Hillary Clinton. They should both be in jail for that alone, without even going into everything surrounding the emails. Right? Now, I said that there's a possibility, but let's be real. Hillary Clinton breached national security for personal, political, and financial gain. And anybody who doubts that statement to be true is not just mistaken or not just confused. They're willfully ignorant. It's possible that they're just not paying attention and completely uninformed, but anybody who's informed and who's plugged in enough, active enough to be making claims about whether or not Clinton committed a crime there is lying. If they believe the counter that no wrong was done, they're lying because the information is available. There's enough of the data that is absolutely not in dispute. 100%. Clinton is guilty of treason from that. Just the email situation. Now, that said, let's get back around for just a moment to who Christopher Sign was. So, at the time Clinton was running for office, she was under investigation, clearly guilty of several crimes, and the then Attorney General, Lorretta Lynch, met with the candidate's husband, Bill Clinton, who was also...
They talked about yoga and grandchildren.
Yeah. And that was a major controversy because it was absolutely inappropriate. And by inappropriate, what we mean to say is illegal. It's possible that one of the most corrupt district attorneys general in history met with one of the most corrupt former presidents in history, while one of the, if not the most corrupt ever presidential candidate in history was running a race which was already rife with corruption while she was under criminal investigation. It's possible, I suppose, that the enormous amounts of money and political power on the line there had nothing to do with these two people going out of their way to meet in secret in a private airplane on a tarmac without putting it on either of their agendas. I suppose it's possible. Of course, I suppose if that were the case, if it was a completely innocent meeting, then Christopher Sign would probably still be alive. So, Christopher Sign broke the story. He got the footage. He broke the story. If it had not been for Sign, we would not have known that occurred. There's even a chance that if it had not been for Christopher Sign, Hillary Clinton would have been elected. Now, in fairness, there's also a reasonable chance that if it hadn't been for Christopher Sign, there would be no COVID virus, because Hillary would have been the president, and the need to murder a large portion of the world's population in order to dethrone the bad orange man would not have existed. But that's reaching for the tinfoil hat.
Yeah, but okay, so the problem though is ever since Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, that whole tinfoil hat thing, it just, I'll never forget. Dave Rubin takes his month off, right, and he comes back and he does his show with Glenn Beck, and Glenn Beck is like messing with him. So yeah, what if I told you that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself under the most bizarre possible circumstances? And like Dave Rubin's laughing, and Glenn Beck's like, no, seriously, this is what happened. And Dave Rubin actually looks at Glenn Beck and says, "Shut the fuck up," right? But ever since that happened,
and Rubin does not use that word, and neither does Glenn.
Yeah.
Generally,
yeah. At least, anyhow.
But that was a big turning point for a lot of America. I mean, one of the memes that ran at the time is "We're all Alex Jones now," and good God, yeah, that's when Epstein bit it. Nobody believed it. No, it was still nobody believes that Epstein actually killed himself.
Well, yeah, and
the
then
most
all
suspicious circumstances. Steven Crowder did his video where he attempted to commit suicide the way that Epstein did it, and he put on a neck brace. He wasn't really going to kill himself, but they built a mock-up of the jail cell that was actually accurate to the jail cell based on video footage available. They bought a sheet from the same manufacturer, so it was the same kind of sheet that they said he hanged himself with, and they had several doctors and scientists come in and do all the math and say, well, it would require this amount of force in this position, et cetera, et cetera. And Crowder showed that the only way Epstein could have actually hanged himself fatally in that cell is if somebody else helped to apply the necessary additional force for that sheet at that length to cause the damage. Basically, he proved that the only way Epstein could have actually hanged himself is if it was an assisted suicide, which in this country we still call murder.
Well, hey, look, but that's kind of the point, right? There's all these let's call them assisted suicides that seem to follow the Clintons.
Yeah.
And not to get too morbid, but I have known 3 people across my entire life that have committed suicide, and I have unfortunately dealt with 1 murderer across my entire life. And that's, I'm almost 40, right? The Clintons have had so many people in their orbit die of suicide. I hope you have the list pulled up, because it's been so long since I looked it up. But it's ridiculous. You reach a certain point where, the statistical odds of having that many people around you die in a violent manner, it's bizarre, at least. Okay, but I can't help but put my insurance hat on. I almost feel like that belongs on an actuarial table. Are you a friend of the Clintons? Okay, so you pay a 10% premium on your life support payment, on your life insurance payments, because that's a risk factor. It's kind of like smoking.
Yes. Well, yeah, Herschel Friday, right? Herschel Friday was a lawyer that Nixon considered appointing to the Supreme Court. He owned an Arkansas law firm. It was one of the oldest ones there, and he was an attorney and Clinton fundraiser when his plane exploded. Right, and that's another thing that's funny about the Clinton body list. There's a couple on there. There's one on there I can't remember what the name was. I've got the list pulled up, but it's 47 names, and the list is each of the individual stories, so it's a long list. But some of the names on the list, some of the deaths on the list are things like found in air. The body is found in a crashed airplane with 2 bullet holes in the back of the head, and it's ruled a suicide. And I'm like, that's not a joke. I mean, obviously it's a joke, but no, that's a thing that happened. That's one of the strange deaths surrounding Bill and Hillary Clinton. An amazingly large number of them died in plane crashes. It looks like if you get on the wrong side of the Clintons, your private airplane just explodes as soon as it's outside of U.S. airspace. That's just kind of how they roll. Now, in all fairness, Sign appears to not have exploded in an air crash.
No, and we're going purely on speculation here. We don't know what the manner of death was, and it's possible. I don't know. Maybe he actually had a drug problem or whatever. It is possible, but we are talking about a guy that probably. He's in his mid-40s. He's got a family.
He's 45 years old, successful career, three young boys. I have to amend something that I said to you earlier, Cameron, while we were in the show prep. I have found some stories now where all of his coworkers are saying, well, we were laughing and joking with him the night before he died. Nothing seemed to be off, right? None of the reporting that I'm seeing says anything about him being depressed, about any history of mental illness. None of it has any details on the death itself. It all says things like the death is being investigated as a suicide. But I'm not seeing anything where it's like, oh, well, he hanged himself or he shot himself or he ate a bottle of pills. There's no reporting that I'm seeing so far. Now, in fairness, this just happened on Saturday. But the reporting on it is still seems a little sparse, shall we say. And I mean, mid-40s, healthy, successful, family guy, turned down a big job offer a year or two ago because he wanted to spend more time with his family so he could go fishing and hunting with his kids. He's an Alabama guy. He's a good old Southern boy. And yeah, I mean, in my life, I've had two close family members who committed suicide, and I've known two people who were close friends who died in car accidents that I can think of off the top of my head. But that's for the average American, for the average person, the people that you've lost, the people who have passed away, died of old age, a chronic illness where we didn't know exactly when they were going to go, but we knew that time was running out. We knew that the number was up, or a heart attack, stroke, something related to old age, something that's not. It's not a big shock. It's natural causes type of stuff. Very few people actually know a large number of people who have committed suicide, been murdered. You're much more likely to know more than one person who died in a car accident than to know a large number of people who have taken themselves out or been taken out, right? But the Clintons, it's the 47 strange deaths. I guess it's 48 now. Well, no, I guess it's 49 because Epstein's on the list.
Yeah.
I'll say this for the Clintons. Y'all are getting old, sweetheart. If you're going to break that half a centennial, you need to hurry up. And I kid. And I should probably be a little more careful with that joke because I have, in fact, personally met Hillary Clinton. Now, it was more than 20 years ago. It was 1994 or 95. They built a brand new high school in Brunswick, Maine, where we were living at the time. Obviously, Bill was the president. Hillary came out with her security detail and a small House representative delegation to visit the school and do a dedication ceremony, kind of a ribbon cutting type of thing. I was in the band, so I played the national anthem on the trumpet, and then I ran across the stage to the choir and sang the solo part for Jean Valjean and Gaston in this bizarre, long, winding show tunes compilation that Professor Guggen's put together. And then we all got to meet her after the ceremony and the show. So I I don't want to be your number 50, Hillary. It's okay. I don't know anything that the rest of the world doesn't know. I promise. I know you're a crook. I know you're a liar. I know you're a criminal. I know you're perjured yourself under oath in testimony. But that's common knowledge. It's nothing new. I'm good. You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah. It is bizarre though, and it's been a thing. I mean, basically since the '90s, and it's been one of those things where, if you talk about it, if you even suggest, man, the way that Vince Foster died it's a little weird. Like, you're crazy, you're made fun of, and yet, as time has gone on, and we've had the internet, and we've been able to share ideas with one another.
Hang on. Uncle Steve gets the top comment this morning. Been nice knowing you, Chris.
It turns out that a lot of us have had similar suspicions this entire time, and we've now been able to kind of collectively pool our mental resources on the internet, and it's finally gotten to the point to where we're all getting a little more savvy and less afraid of discussing certain things. And so, of course, that's why big tech wants to censor us. It's why we don't dare talk about the amphibious priapism, rather. The fact that there might be erectile dysfunction in frogs, because that'll get us what would be a two-week eat on the next one.
Yep.
But this with the Clintons,
and if there's anything we don't need, it's a double eating.
But this with the Clintons, you know, in my life, I can remember is sort of the first topic that you're not supposed to talk about. That, oh, people will make fun of you. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're this, you're that. You're a conspiracy theorist. And obviously that's because, you know, I was a teenager during, you know, Bill Clinton's presidency. But now we can talk about it. Now there are people that are receptive and open to it. And especially with what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, it's like, you know, I used to think Alex Jones was crazy. I really, really did. But now I'm like, well, hold on now. There might actually be clockwork elves. And I don't know. But all that to say, anytime somebody dies
Epstein,
around the Clintons.
Epstein took most of us from real male hormone supplements or an unnecessary, you know, placebo system to no, there are clockwork elves.
Yes, interdimensional clockwork elves, by the way. But yeah, anytime anybody dies around the Clintons, it's, all of us, I think, are like, oh shit, here we go. You ever think, like, the people that know the Clintons, when somebody dies around them, they go, oh, thank God it wasn't my turn.
You think they have the little number tickets that you take when you're standing in line at the records room?
At this point, like, you wonder if people even get ill with them. Be like, damn it, y'all are in your 70s. Let it go. Stop murdering people. You're gonna be dead soon anyway. What the fuck?
Yeah, just give it up. You're old. You're old.
You picture those conversations with Chelsea and her husband, like, Mom, Jesus, haven't you done enough?
Oh. Yep.
So
Jamie says you got to sign a waiver to be around the Clintons. What's this? Oh, this is your proximity liability and indemnification waiver. Oh, what's that for? No, nothing. You know, 33% of bungee cords are effective. All right, well that's about all I've got this morning, Cameron.
Yeah, that's about all I've got this morning too. I'm glad we could take such a serious thing and really, really get into the gallows humor of it.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I mean, dark humor's like daddy's. Not everybody grows up with it. Y'all be safe out there, and we will see you tomorrow.